After money, let's talk about time. When it comes to time measurement, Earthlings love abbreviations. We have GMT, meaning Greenwich Mean Time, IST, Indian Standard Time. There are plenty of others. And now there will be one more, LTC, Coordinated Lunar Time. The White House has asked NASA to figure out how to tell time on the moon. You see, time works differently there. It moves faster than on Earth. If Earthlings plan to set up lunar bases, they need to perfectly synchronize time with the moon. But it won't be easy. Our next report tells you why.
Time is like that teenage boy in school. He gets good grades, he's on the school band, so he's popular among girls. But he's almost too mysterious. The more you know, the more there is to find out. And figuring out time is a difficult task. So now it's been handed to NASA. The White House has sent NASA a memo. It wants the space agency to figure out how to tell time. Not on Earth, but on the moon. And this is most likely not a one-person job. So the government has asked NASA to work together with other agencies, both in the US and abroad. The goal is to set up what's being called the Coordinated Lunar Time, or LTC. This will be a moon-centric time reference system. Why do we need it? Simply put, the time zone on the moon is different from that on Earth. There's less gravity on the moon, so time moves quickly there, by 58.7 microseconds every day, compared to that on Earth. That doesn't sound like much, but it has grave consequences. Imagine if people weren't syncing their clocks to the same time. It would be highly disruptive and challenging. The only upside would be that latecomers would have a legitimate excuse. But bad jokes aside, if we don't have a way to tell time on the moon, the same chaos would erupt. If and when spacecraft land on the moon, data transfers may be less secure. Communications between Earth, astronauts and lunar satellites will not be synchronized. There will be mapping errors as well. Locating positions on the moon or orbiting it will be tough. So there are plenty of reasons. Which is why we need a completely different frame of time for the moon. This will give Earthlings a timekeeping benchmark. It'll provide the extreme precision required for lunar spacecraft and satellites on space missions. NASA has until the end of 2026 to complete the project and to set up the Coordinated Lunar Time. Why is that? Because 2026 is a big year for NASA. It plans to send astronauts to the lunar surface 2 years from now. It's called the Artemis program, and it's scheduled to begin in September 2026. The goal is to set up a scientific base on the moon and set the stage for future missions, especially the ones to Mars. But there's a challenge here as well. Time is measured by a global network of clocks. These aren't your average time tellers. They are atomic clocks, measuring changes in the state of atoms, placed in different locations to generate an average. That's how it works on Earth. And that's how it'll work on the moon. Developing this coordinated lunar time will require many atomic clocks to be placed on the moon. It'll also require international agreements, which will be a tough ask, especially for America, because it would mean convincing its two main rivals in space, China and Russia. But the White House is determined to shoot for the moon.